Hello, welcome back. We are starting a new series today. How exciting. So for the first video of this series, we are looking at the history of lipstick, how it was made, where it first originated, and the many different uses for it over the years. So the origin of lipstick traces back to over 5,000 years ago to ancient Mesopotamia, which meant land of the rivers, interestingly. Mesopotamia refers to the area between Tigris and Euphrates. I hope I'm saying them right, but I probably am not. This is modernly known as the area of Kuwait, Iraq, Turkey and Syria. So ancient Sumerians are who we know as the first people to have invented and worn lip colour, first recorded people, and they crushed red rocks, gemstones, mixed it with white lead and used that as lipstick. Like, how crazy. I feel like so stupid sometimes because that was over 5,000 years ago. I feel like I wouldn't even have the knowledge and the intelligence to think of something like that now. Where were these getting their intelligence and brains from? Because history amazes me. It amazes me. But they used red rocks like carnelian and jasper, maybe rubies as well, that I've read somewhere. But obviously the more expensive and rare gemstones were reserved for only the most elite people and royalty. White lead was basically a naturally occurring carbonate, whichever the word is. Sumerians and ancient Egyptians used this in art and makeup. White lead was really prized for its white colour, how bright it was and just white, despite being highly toxic. White lead was first mined in Mesopotamia in around 2500 BCE, which makes it either one of, if not the, first ever white pigment. So makeup has been around since 2500 BCE. You heard that right. Crazy. Interestingly as well, even back then it was used as a skin whitener, as like a symbol of status. And that to me is again just so interesting, because what made people think back then that having a paler complexion meant you were of higher social status? So to be honest, I'm not actually surprised that it's so difficult to get everyone out of this racial divide that we've got going on now, because if skin tone and associating lighter complexions with superiority has gone back as far as 2500 BCE, then I'm not surprised that it is so deeply embedded in society. Like so long, such a long time to have the same kind of views. Wild. Sumerians, Queen Shub-ad in particular, used rocks such as hematite, which is a form of iron oxide, that were then mixed with white lead and natural oils or fats to create a lip colour. These kind of red rocks were found from royal tombs for the Queen, of course, only the best. Obviously it was a massive symbol of status. Being a queen, she needed that. And this was obviously due to the fact that they were expensive, first of all. Because the ingredients were expensive, that also made them difficult to produce. They were expensive and difficult to produce because of the ingredients that you needed to use to make them. Because as far as the ingredients go, of course they used to use precious, semi-precious gemstones, which were a very clear display of wealth and status. The next stage is obviously to mix it with white lead and some form of natural oil or fat. And obviously both of these things would have been time consuming, laborious, And that in turn would add to how exclusive these lip colours would have been back then. So because of them different factors, it obviously ended up being that lip colours were only reserved for the very, very, very wealthy elite people, royalty, people of very high social status, which is slightly different to ancient Egypt because it was more the shade back then that determined if you were of higher status, wealthy, you know, royalty. Common people often wore a rust-toned red, but Cleopatra's was a very, very specific shade of crimson, which just so happens to have been made from crushed carmine beetles. Huh? Are you okay? I mean, I know, you know, resources were limited back then and you had to be really adventurous with what you're using for your lip colour, but beetles? Beetles. Thank God that the times have changed and we have progressed when it comes to makeup, because I tell you now, I won't be putting that on my lips. Not a chance. Another interesting fact about this whole topic is that in both ancient civilisations, both men and women wore makeup to show their status. A symbol of influence, wealth and power in society. But that is only where it originated. Let's look at some other ways that lipstick has been used throughout the years. So during the Middle Ages, Victorian era, the church actually condemned makeup. Yeah, you heard that right. They condemned makeup. Why? It was associated with many different things such as sin, immorality and just being a Jezebel, I guess. People also thought it was kind of linked to witchcraft in some parts of Europe as well, which is just ridiculous. Okay. I mean, it might have done, it might have been. Who am I to say it wasn't? But is it likely? Is all I'm going to ask. Is it likely? What do a bunch of witches want with your red lipstick? Later in 16th century England, Queen Elizabeth I reignited everyone's love again for red lipstick and welcomed it back with open arms, along with her bright white face, and it once again became a symbol for high status and wealth and influence and power in society. Little side note as well, it's related to lipstick, but apparently the first ever commercial lipstick was made by Guerlain in 1884, and it was packaged in silk paper. Just sounds so luxurious and so dreamy. I feel like there were probably so much more love put into products back then as well because they were so limited. There were no kind of even starting signs of fast beauty. That was never even a thought back then. Just very simple, very luxurious and very beautiful, reminding us that we are enhancing beauty. We do not need kilograms and kilograms of makeup. But then again, on the other hand, it is nice, really nice, to have options and be able to just transform yourself into a dragon one day. So I will say again, I do love how far we've come. Then the suffragettes made red lipstick a very, very, very powerful thing. In New York, they wore bright, bold red lipstick as a powerful and defiant symbol of courage, strength, solidarity and liberation during their marches for the right to vote. In 1912, Elizabeth Arden herself, already a successful businesswoman, became a powerful support for the suffragettes' movements. So she famously distributed red lipsticks to the suffragettes who were partaking in the suffragette marches in New York on Fifth Avenue as a token of strength, hope and female solidarity. This further helped cement red lips as the badge of female power, liberation and strength, which still continues today. Elizabeth Arden also participated in rallies herself. She made her salon a hub for the movement, in turn strengthening the link between red lips and female activism. This continued throughout World War II. Because in the UK, wearing red lipstick became a patriotic symbol, showing support for the soldiers and disdain for Hitler himself. It became a patriotic symbol of defiance, morale and femininity. Winston Churchill actually recognised its impact and basically made a rule that the government called civic duty. Now, what did this mean? Civilians were encouraged to wear makeup, specifically red lipstick, as a way to escape the darkness of war. And apparently, just to make it that a little bit better for everybody, Hitler supposedly hated the colour red and hated makeup. Hitler hates it, we'll do it. Okay? We're not going to talk about Hitler because he's an asshole. He's not here anymore and that's all that matters. But even after the war, the British Red Cross distributed red lipsticks to concentration camp survivors as a small act of humanity to help them reclaim their dignity, sense of self and just normalcy. There's so much more to red lipstick than just it being red lipstick. There's so much history to it. There's so much pain and struggle and determination and liberation and feminine power with it. To this day, red lipstick is still seen as confident, outgoing, bold, headstrong. And personally, I think it'll be the same for many, many, many years to come. Red is such an empowering colour, and if I'm being totally honest, I feel like I wouldn't have fallen in love with makeup as much as I have if it wasn't for red lipstick. It was the first lip shade I ever wore, and I still remember how I felt when I first tried it on. My mum actually used to be so surprised with me for being able to apply red lipstick neatly without using a mirror at the age of about 7. And even that feeling of being so proud of myself and proud of myself that my mum was proud of me as well at such a young age, that's always stuck with me. I love makeup, I love red lipstick, and I am really looking forward to doing some more videos about just the history of different makeup products and makeup itself overall. And I hope you enjoy it as much as I'm enjoying talking about it. And I hope you enjoy watching just as much as I enjoy making them, because it's really, really fun. I thought this new series would be a good way to both educate myself and other people, because whilst doing the research for this video, I have learnt so much. I have done a shorter video for this just because I'm not sure whether it's something you'd want to sit through. But if you do, let me know, because I am more than happy to divulge more information to you, honey. Let me know what you'd like to see in the next history of makeup video. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe if this channel is your vibe. Love you. Bye.